The day has ended. The sun, once blazing in the skies of Persia, now sinks behind the golden horizon. Shadows stretch across the desert sands, turning them from fire-lit amber to soft velvet bronze. The heat of the day fades, and in its place, a gentle coolness begins to flow. A breeze wanders lazily through the narrow alleys of the bazaar, carrying with it the mingled scents of sandalwood, saffron, and jasmine. One by one, the shops close their carved wooden shutters. Merchants pack away their treasures, spices in clay jars, rolled carpets painted with ancient stories, and baskets filled with silk that glimmers even in the fading light. The voices of the market soften. What was once a chorus of bargaining and laughter now drifts into hushed goodbyes, as footsteps echo on stone streets and lanterns are lit in doorways. The air grows heavy with silence, like a blanket wrapping the city in rest. You stand at the edge of this quiet bazaar, watching as 1,000 flickering lanterns begin to glow like fireflies in the deepening dusk. Above, the sky darkens, first indigo, then violet, until it becomes a dome of scattered silver stars. The crescent moon hangs low, its light spilling gently across tiled domes and ancient minarets. And here, in this quiet moment, you feel yourself slowing down. Your breath deepens, your body softens. You let the night of Persia carry you further into calm. Somewhere nearby, the soft plucking of a lute drifts through the air, a simple melody, played not for crowds, but for the night itself. Its notes linger like the perfume of roses, delicate and fading, yet timeless. You walk deeper into the silence of the bazaar. The arches above your head are carved with old Persian calligraphy, lines of poetry praising the beauty of creation, the eternity of love, and the blessing of peaceful sleep. The streets are lined with blue, glazed tiles, their surfaces catching fragments of moonlight. Every step echoes softly, as though the earth itself whispers back to you, slow down, rest, breathe. At the far end of the alley, a wooden door remains open. From within, a golden light spills outward, warm and inviting. You step closer and see the gentle figure of a silk weaver seated at his loom. He works by the glow of a single oil lamp. The threads stretched across his shimmer in shades of gold, crimson, and sapphire. His hands move with a rhythm older than memory, weaving silence into sound, thread into cloth, dream into reality. The loom whispers, the steady pull of silk threads, the soft creak of wood, the sigh of fabric as it takes shape. You linger in the doorway, watching, listening. The weaver glances up briefly, smiles, and nods a silent welcome. He does not speak, for words would break the spell of this night. Instead, he returns to his weaving, each thread shimmering like moonlight captured in fabric. The sound of the loom is gentle, steady, repetitive, like a heartbeat, like waves rolling against a distant shore. The world outside fades further into silence, until all that remains is this small room, this golden glow, and the soothing rhythm of silk being woven into eternity. You close your eyes and breathe with the loom. Each thread becomes a thought, each pattern a dream. Your body feels lighter, as though the weaver's work is weaving peace into your very soul. Above the room, the night deepens. The stars wheel slowly across the heavens. The city sleeps, and the silk weaver continues his work, a guardian of dreams, a maker of calm, a silent companion for the night. Here, in this quiet corner of Persia, the journey begins, and with it, your sleep. Inside the little workshop, the air is warm with the glow of the lamp. Its light rests upon the loom, upon threads that shimmer like starlight captured on earth. The weaver sits quietly, his posture steady, his breathing calm, as though he has been here for countless nights, keeping watch while the world drifts into dreams. His loom is ancient, made of smooth wood, polished by decades of use, by the passing of hands, by the rhythm of creation. Each beam bears the marks of time, a notch here, a groove there, silent witnesses to the endless weaving of silk. The threads stretch across it in perfect lines, golden, crimson, sapphire, emerald, a tapestry of colors waiting to be born. They shimmer with every movement of the weaver's hand, catching the light of the flame and turning it into soft, flickering rainbows. He reaches forward, his fingers delicate yet firm, and draws one thread through another. The loom responds with a gentle creak, a sound as comforting as a lullaby. The fabric grows slowly, steadily, a cloth that is not only silk, but memory, patience, and silence. You watch him in stillness, mesmerized by the rhythm. The loom speaks its language of whispers: tap, pull, sigh, tap, pull, sigh, a cycle as steady as your breathing. The weaver hums softly under his breath. It is not a song, not quite, but more of a gentle vibration, a tone that blends with the loom, with the night, with the rhythm of your heart. As you listen, you begin to feel as though he is not weaving cloth alone. He is weaving the night itself, drawing threads of moonlight, binding them with strands of silence, stitching together fragments of forgotten dreams. Every movement feels eternal. Every sound feels timeless. Here in this workshop, there is no rush, no urgency, only patience, only peace. The weaver's eyes are kind, softened by years of dedication. He glances at the fabric as it grows, then at you, as though to remind you, just as silk becomes cloth, so too does wakefulness become sleep. The longer you watch, the more your own thoughts begin to resemble the loom. Each idea, each memory, each fragment of the day becomes a thread, some bright, some faded, some tangled. But here in the hands of the weaver, all are placed in order. One by one, they are woven into a greater whole, a fabric of stillness, a tapestry of rest. The lamp flickers, casting shadows that dance across the walls. In those shadows, patterns emerge. They look like constellations, like the geometry of Persian mosaics, like the eternal spirals of the desert winds. The loom continues: tap, pull, sigh, tap, pull, sigh. The sound becomes softer, slower, deeper. It is as though the loom has found your heartbeat and now breathes in rhythm with you. The weaver sets down his shuttle for a moment. He closes his eyes. He inhales deeply, then exhales slowly, a sigh that seems to carry centuries of peace. You mirror his breath in and out, slow, gentle, without effort. When he opens his eyes again, he whispers, his voice like silk itself. Every night has its loom. Every dream has its thread. And tonight, you are being woven into the fabric of rest. The words drift into the air, settling over you like a blanket. You feel it, soft, light, resting on your shoulders, your chest, your very soul. The weaver returns to his work. The loom sings again. Tap, pull, sigh, tap, pull, sigh. Outside, the night deepens. The city grows quieter still. The streets are empty, the fountains trickle softly, the stars shine brighter in their watch. But here in this workshop, time no longer matters. There is only the steady weaving of silk, the glow of the lamp, and the gentle weight of sleep descending upon you. The loom will keep weaving, even when your eyes close. It will weave until your thoughts are quiet. It will weave until your body is still. It will weave until you too are part of the dream it creates. And as your breath falls into rhythm with the loom, you feel it. The edge of sleep approaching. A doorway opening, just wide enough for you to step through. Guided by the threads of silk, guided by the hand of the weaver, guided by the night of Persia. The loom grows quiet for a while, its whispers fading into stillness. The weaver sets down his shuttle, resting his hands, and gestures toward the open doorway. Beyond it, the bazaar awaits, not the noisy, bustling market of the day, but the hushed, glowing wonder of the night. You step out into the cool air, leaving behind the golden lamp of the workshop. The streets are draped in silence, but they are not dark. For everywhere around you, lanterns have been lit. They sway gently from carved wooden beams, from iron hooks fixed into tiled walls, from the hands of quiet watchmen making their rounds. Each flame flickers inside colored glass, amber, ruby, emerald, sapphire, turning the alleys into rivers of shifting light. You walk slowly, letting the glow guide your steps. Each lantern seems alive, its flame breathing softly, its light moving like silk upon stone. Some lanterns are simple clay bowls, holding a single flame. Others are intricate, their frames shaped like stars, their glass painted with Persian flowers and patterns. Together, they create a night that is not black, but golden, crimson and blue, like a dream stitched into the darkness. The bazaar that once echoed with voices now hums with a different sound. You hear the faint trickle of fountains, the rustle of cloth left hanging, the sigh of the wind moving through arches, Shops are closed, their wooden doors bolted, but their beauty remains. Tiles of turquoise and white catch the lantern light. Calligraphy lines the walls, phrases of poetry and blessing. You pause before one. The lantern of the soul never burns out. It only grows brighter in silence. Though you whisper the words to yourself, they seem to linger in the night air, echoing softly, like the hush of a prayer. You continue walking. The lanterns above you swaying, their flames bending gently with the breeze. Each one seems to nod to you, as if guiding you forward, deeper into stillness. At the center of the bazaar, you come upon a courtyard. Here, the lanterns are many. They hang from every arch, every column, every balcony. They glow in such number that the courtyard feels like a garden of stars, planted not in the sky, but upon the earth itself. In the center, a fountain sings. Its water catches the glow, breaking it into 1,000 tiny fragments of gold. The sound is gentle, a lullaby of trickling streams, endlessly flowing, endlessly calming. You sit by the fountain's edge. The stone is cool beneath your hands, the water glistens like liquid silk. You close your eyes for a moment. The lanterns remain behind your eyelids, their glow soft and steady, like a warm flame inside your chest. As you breathe, you notice how the night slows around you. The city sleeps. The air holds you. The lanterns keep watch. It feels as though they are weaving their own tapestry of light, a fabric stretched across the bazaar, stitched by fire, embroidered with silence. Each flicker of a flame is a reminder of breath, each glow a reminder of peace, each shadow a reminder that even in darkness, there is beauty. The fountain continues its song, the lanterns continue their dance, and you drift deeper inward, carried by the stillness, by the quiet poetry of the Persian night. The weaver's words return to you, like threads still tied to your memory. Every night has its loom. Every dream has its thread. Perhaps these lanterns are part of that loom, woven into the fabric of this dream. Perhaps every flame is a stitch in the blanket of sleep that wraps around you now. The courtyard grows quieter still, until the only sound is water, the only light is flame, the only rhythm is breath. Here beneath the lanterns of the bazaar you rest. You let your eyes soften. You let your body grow heavier. You let the flames hold you, guiding you deeper, closer into sleep. The lanterns glow softly behind you, their light following your steps for a while, until the alleys narrow once more. Here the air changes. It grows thicker, warmer, rich with fragrance. Even though the bazaar sleeps, its perfumes linger. They float like invisible threads, woven into the night air. The first is jasmine, delicate, sweet, a fragrance that drifts from clay pots hanging by wooden doors. The flowers are small, their petals pale against the darkness, but their scent fills the street like a quiet song. You pause, breathing it in. It settles in your chest, soft and calming, as if each breath places a gentle hand upon your heart. Further along, the fragrance shifts. Now it is sandalwood, deep, earthy, grounding. Its smoke curls upward from a small brazier left glowing outside a closed shop. The scent is warm, ancient, a fragrance that feels like memory itself. It carries the weight of temples, of whispered prayers, of desert nights that stretch forever. You breathe it in, and it steadies you, rooting you more deeply into the present, into this silence, into this rest. Then comes saffron, sharp, golden, a fragrance that seems to shimmer in the air. It comes from jars sealed tightly, yet still strong enough to escape, to float into the alley. Its scent is like sunlight, a memory of day lingering in the night. It warms you from within, like a flame that does not burn, but glows quietly in the body. Together, the perfumes weave around you, jasmine, sandalwood, saffron. They mingle like voices in harmony, a chorus of scents singing you deeper into calm. You walk slowly, your steps guided not by sight but by fragrance. Each turn of the alley brings something new, the sweetness of rosewater drifting from a fountain basin, the sharpness of mint crushed beneath someone's sandal earlier that evening, the faint trace of honey and figs left behind from the stalls of the day. Every scent carries a memory, and every memory carries a story. But here, in the quiet of night, they are not stories told aloud. They are dreams waiting to be dreamed. The air grows heavier still. It is almost as though you can feel the perfumes on your skin, resting like silk upon your arms, wrapping around you like a cloak. You close your eyes and breathe. With each inhale, you draw in peace. With each exhale, you release the day. The silence of the bazaar deepens. Your thoughts grow lighter. The scents guide you inward, to a place softer than words, calmer than time. The weaver's loom seems far away now, yet you know its rhythm continues. Perhaps he too breathes in these perfumes, letting them guide his hands, letting them weave into his silk. You imagine threads not only of color but of scent. A thread of jasmine white, a thread of saffron gold, a thread of sandalwood brown, a thread of rose red. Woven together, they would create a fabric unlike any other, a tapestry of fragrance, a cloth of dreams. You drift deeper into this imagining, and soon it feels as though you wear that fabric. It covers you, wraps you, protects you. It is light as air, yet strong as time. It carries you slowly, softly towards sleep. The perfumes fade slightly as you continue walking, but not completely. They linger, like the glow of lanterns behind closed eyes, like the hum of the loom still in memory, like the steady rhythm of your breath. And with each step you feel yourself quieter, heavier, closer to rest. The night of Persia holds you. The perfumes of the bazaar surround you, and sleep comes nearer, like a silken thread drawn gently through the loom of your mind. The perfumes linger behind you, gentle traces that dissolve into the cool air of night. Now the silence grows stronger. Your footsteps carry you deeper into the heart of the old city. Here the walls rise higher, stone upon stone, layer upon layer, built by hands long vanished, yet still standing firm against centuries of wind and time. The lanterns cast their glow upon them, revealing patterns etched deep into their surface. Some are simple lines, curves carved by chisels. Others bloom into flowers of stone, petals curling outward, delicate even in their weight. And then there is calligraphy, endless rivers of words, flowing across the walls, drawn not in ink, but carved in permanence. They whisper poetry as you pass. The night is a garden of stars. The soul is a lantern of flame. Rest, and the two will meet. The words sink into you. They do not demand thought. They are simply there, resting in the silence, guiding you deeper inward. Your hand brushes against the stone. It is cool to the touch, rough in some places, smooth in others. You feel its weight, its patience. This wall has watched centuries pass. Merchants, pilgrims, kings, wanderers, all have walked these same alleys, all have rested beneath this same night. And now you walk where they once walked. You breathe the same air, you see the same moon. The walls hold their memory, woven like threads into stone. You imagine their voices, a caravan arriving with camels, a poet reciting verses by lamplight, a child laughing as she runs across the courtyard. The sounds echo faintly like shadows of the past, but they do not disturb you. They only remind you you are part of something timeless. The walls rise higher still. Above, arches stretch across the alleys, holding the sky like open hands. They are decorated with mosaics, pieces of turquoise, white, and deep cobalt blue, arranged into stars and endless spirals. When the lantern light touches them, they shimmer as though alive, as though the night itself is watching. You pause beneath one arch. Its ceiling is painted with faded patterns, floral vines, golden suns, geometries that seem to go on forever. You tilt your head back, and for a moment, it feels as though you are looking into another sky. A sky made not of stars, but of art, of memory, of human hands reaching for eternity. The night breeze flows through the arch, soft and cool. It moves like water, washing over you, slowing your thoughts, soothing your body. The walls whisper as the wind passes. It is not a voice you can understand, but a tone you can feel. It says, "You are safe. You are held. You are timeless." You walk again, your steps echoing against the stone. The sound is soft, like the beating of a drum in the distance. Each step blends into the rhythm of your breath. Step, inhale a step, exhale a gentle cadence, carrying you further into rest. The city grows quieter still, the walls close in around you, not to trap but to cradle. They rise like arms, gently folding you into their embrace. You feel protected, sheltered from the vastness of the desert beyond. The lanterns flicker, Shadows move across the carvings, dancing like silent storytellers. The shapes shift and fade, a horse galloping, a flower blooming, a star falling. You watch them for a while, eyes soft, thoughts drifting. Time loses its meaning here. The walls have seen centuries, they will see centuries more. Your presence is a passing moment, but the peace you feel is eternal. At last you reach a great gate set deep into the wall. It is closed, its wood heavy and bound with iron. But you do not need to pass through. You only need to rest here at its base, beneath its arch, beneath the stars. You sit against the stone, the cool surface at your back. The city breathes around you. The silence thickens. The walls keep watch. And slowly, gently, your own breath becomes the only sound. Steady, calm, endless. The walls have guarded countless sleepers. Now, they guard you too. And as your eyes grow heavy, you feel yourself leaning deeper into their patience, their strength, their timeless calm. The night continues. The weaver works. The lanterns glow. The perfumes linger. The walls protect. And you drift closer to dreams. The walls rise behind you, their silence settling like a cloak. You step forward once more, your feet brushing against the smooth stones of the alley. And then you notice something. Though the streets are empty, your ears begin to catch faint sounds. Whispers in the stillness, shadows of footsteps that no longer exist. The past is close here. It lingers in the stones, woven into every brick, every arch, every winding path. The first sound is light, like the delicate steps of a child. You can almost see her, a little girl carrying a clay lamp, its flame glowing as she runs ahead of her mother. Her laughter echoes faintly in the night air. Not a ghost, not a haunting, just a memory, a footprint left behind by joy. The sound fades. In its place comes another, the steady tread of a caravan. Camels shifting their weight, their padded feet pressing against the earth. Merchants murmuring in low voices, discussing spices, silks, routes through deserts. You hear the jingle of bronze bells hanging from the animals' necks, their tones soft and rhythmic, like distant chimes in the wind. The caravan passes, though there is no caravan before you. Its memory is enough. It is as though the city itself remembers and shares its remembering with you. You continue walking, and more echoes rise. A poet reciting verses beneath a lantern, his voice rich, his words flowing like honey, carried by the air. Each line a gift, each pause a moment of silence as listeners nod in reverence. A call to prayer, rising gently in the dawn, answering the stars. A flute played by a young man sitting on a rooftop, his music meant only for the moon. All these sounds, all these footsteps of the past mingle in the air around you. They do not frighten, they do not overwhelm. They are soft, gentle, like the memory of a dream upon waking. You pause in the middle of an open square. The stone beneath you is worn smooth, as though countless feet have walked here, countless lives have passed. Countless moments have rested in this very space. You close your eyes. The square fills with echoes. A bustling market, the cries of merchants, the laughter of children, the scent of freshly baked bread. Then silence, the square empty again. Only you remain listening, breathing, resting. The footsteps remind you of something important. You are never alone. Even in silence, you are surrounded by the stories of those who came before. Their journeys, their dreams, their rest, all leave traces. And tonight, those traces keep you company. You imagine your own footsteps joining them. Soft, slow, left upon these stones, they too will become part of the city's memory. One day, someone will walk here, and perhaps in the hush of the night, they will hear an echo of you. And they will feel the same comfort you feel now, that we are all threads, woven together, timeless, endless. The wind stirs, rustling against the walls. It carries with it another faint sound, not footsteps this time, but the creak of the loom. The weaver is still at his work, his rhythm carrying through the night. Tap, pull, sigh, tap, pull, sigh. His weaving joins the echoes, a sound both present and eternal. A sound that belongs to the past, the present, and the dream you are entering. The square grows still once more. The echoes fade back into silence. All that remains is the night breeze, the stars, and your steady breath. You step forward again, calm, unhurried. Each movement feels lighter. Each moment feels softer. The footsteps of the past walk beside you. They do not weigh you down. They guide you, like threads in the weaver's hands, like lanterns glowing in the bazaar, like fragrances drifting in the air. They remind you that everything, every life, every dream, every sound, is part of the same fabric. And tonight, you are being woven into it as well. Slowly, gently, you let the echoes fade. Your body grows heavier. Your thoughts grow quieter. The footsteps of the past become the rhythm of your breath, and you drift deeper and deeper into stillness. The alley narrows once more, and then widens into a hidden courtyard. Here, the night is softer. Lanterns hang from carved wooden beams, their light falling in gentle circles upon tiled floors of turquoise and cream. At the center stands a fountain. Its basin is wide and shallow, lined with mosaic stones. Blues like the sky, greens like the desert after rain, golden fragments catching the lantern light. The fountain breathes with the rhythm of water. It does not roar. It does not rush. It flows in soft arcs, streams rising and falling, trickling into the pool below. The sound is steady, a lullaby carried by stone. You step closer. The cool mist touches your face, kisses your skin, and sinks into you like calm. The water is clear, so clear you can see each pebble at the bottom. Ripples move outward in circles, each wave carrying the night's stillness further and further. You sit at the edge, resting your hands on the cool tiles. The sound of the fountain fills your ears. It is simple, gentle, endless. Like the weaver's loom, like the rhythm of your breath. It is a sound that carries you inward. The air here is scented with blossoms. Orange flowers lean from the courtyard's edges, their petals glowing pale in the lantern light. Jasmine vines curl around carved wooden screens, their fragrance drifting sweetly, as though the garden itself is dreaming. You breathe it in slowly. The sweetness lingers, then fades with your exhale. Inhale calm, exhale release. The fountain flows in time with your breathing. The night deepens in harmony with your stillness. As you sit, the fountain begins to reflect. Not just the lanterns, not just the stars above, but something deeper. You see shapes in the water's mirror, faces of travelers long gone, hands cupping water to drink, children splashing playfully, a lover's hand brushing another's, poets dipping their ink-stained fingers. The fountain has known all of them. It has quenched thirst, it has carried secrets, it has caught laughter and tears alike. And now it holds you. You lower your hand into the water, it is cool, silken against your skin. Ripples move outward at your touch, as though the fountain accepts your presence, weaving you into its memory. For a long time, you sit in silence. The fountain speaks for you. Its steady flow is enough. It washes the thoughts from your mind, the weight from your shoulders, the restlessness from your body. Above, the night sky arches wide. The courtyard frames it like a painting. Stars shine in stillness mirrored in the water below. For a moment, it feels as though the sky and the fountain are the same, endless, gentle, forever flowing. You close your eyes. The water's sound grows closer, as though it surrounds you. You feel it flowing through your thoughts, clearing them, softening them, until only calm remains. Somewhere beyond, the weaver still works. You can almost hear his loom joining the fountain's rhythm. Thread and water, stone and silk. Two crafts, two sounds woven into one. The courtyard holds you like a cradle. The fountain sings you into rest, and slowly, gently, your breath becomes its echo, steady, flowing, endless. Time drifts. There is no hurry here. The fountain will always flow. The night will always return. And you are free to sink deeper, to let go more fully, to dream more softly. At last you rise, though slowly, reluctantly, as though leaving a friend behind. The fountain continues its song. It will always continue. And its sound follows you, like a memory, like a thread, like a promise of rest. You step once more into the night. The fountain fades behind you, but its calm lingers in your chest, flowing with every breath you take. And so, with peace carried in you, you walk deeper into the dream. You leave the fountain behind, its steady voice fading softly into silence. The path before you narrows again, lined with low walls of carved stone, each etched with curling vines and blossoms. The air shifts. It grows warmer, richer, thick with fragrance. Somewhere ahead lies a garden, a secret one, tucked away from the city's noise, resting in silence, waiting for dreamers like you. You push open a wooden gate, its hinges sighing softly. And there it is, the hidden garden. Lanterns sway from branches above, casting pools of golden light upon leaves and petals. The ground is soft with moss, cool against your steps, like walking upon a living carpet. The garden hums gently with life. Cicadas whisper from the shadows, their rhythm slow and drowsy. A night bird calls once, then falls back into silence. You breathe in deeply. The air tastes of roses, of pomegranate blossoms, of mint brushed by the wind. It is sweet but not heavy, fresh but not sharp. It is the perfume of rest. You walk deeper. A fig tree stretches its branches wide above you. Its leaves cast soft patterns across your skin. You pause beneath it, resting in its shade, even in the night. You imagine travelers long ago sitting beneath the same tree, biting into ripe figs, their laughter carried by summer air. The memory fades into the rustle of leaves. The tree offers no words, only stillness. Beyond the fig you find roses. Rows and rows of them, climbing along trellises, leaning toward the moon. Their petals glow faintly in the lantern light, pale pink, deep red, soft ivory. Each rose is open, unfolding as though in a dream. You lean closer. Their fragrance drifts into you, softening your chest, loosening your thoughts. A fountain sings here too, smaller than the one in the courtyard. Its water falls from the mouth of a carved lion, trickling into a shallow basin. The sound is higher, lighter, like silver threads against the silk of night. It mingles with the hum of cicadas, the sigh of the wind, the quiet of the earth. You sit beside it and listen. The hidden garden is not silent. It is alive with whispers. Not loud, not sharp, but gentle, as though the earth itself is speaking slowly, in a language of leaves and roots, water and stone. You close your eyes. The whispers become clearer. They are not stories of the past, not like the footsteps you heard before. These are slower, older. They belong to the soil. They belong to the roots reaching deep. They belong to the stars above, whose light falls quietly upon the petals. The garden does not ask you to listen. It simply lets you rest here, wrapped in its presence, like the silk of a shawl, soft, endless, folded around your body. Somewhere nearby, a breeze moves through the pomegranate trees. The branches sway gently. The fruit glimmers like small lanterns, round and red against the night. You imagine their seeds, bright, jeweled, tucked within. They remind you of dreams hidden, waiting, ready to open when the time comes. You let the image stay with you, your thoughts slow, your breath deepens. The hidden garden holds you patient, tender, still. For a while you do nothing, you simply sit. The garden breathes, and you breathe with it. The fountain trickles, the roses rest. The fig tree stretches, the stars shine. It is enough, more than enough. When at last you rise, you feel lighter, as though some weight has been left among the blossoms. The garden keeps it gladly, releasing you into the night with nothing but calm to carry forward. You step back through the wooden gate. The sigh of the hinges closes behind you. The hidden garden remains where it has always been, quiet, secret, eternal. But its peace walks with you now, woven into your breath, woven into your steps, woven into your dreams. The path narrows once more. Stone walls guide you forward, until you come upon a doorway half hidden by shadows. Through it, a faint glow spills out, and a sound, steady and patient, draws you nearer. It is the sound of wood and thread, a rhythm as old as time, a heartbeat of craft. You step inside. The weaver's workshop. Lantern light flickers against shelves of dyed skeins. Bundles of silk glowing in deep crimson, sea green, and pale ivory. Their sheen shimmers even in the dim light, catching each flicker of the flame. At the room's center sits the loom. Tall, wooden, solid, its beams carved smooth by countless hours of touch. The weaver sits before it, hands moving with practiced grace. He does not look up as you enter. He does not need to. His work is his greeting. Clack, pull, slide, clack. The shuttle passes through the warp threads, carrying its strand of silk. The beam tightens. The fabric grows, slowly, patiently, endlessly. You stand at the edge of the room. The sound wraps around you. It is not loud. It is not hurried. It is steady, like the fountain, like your breath. Each strike of the loom is a heartbeat. Each pull of the thread is an exhale. The loom is not just wood. It is a rhythm of life. You watch the weaver's hands. They are old, but not weak. Every movement is deliberate, as though the loom itself is listening, as though the silk responds to his touch. The pattern begins to emerge, a tapestry of pale gold and indigo, threads shining like starlight woven into night. The weaver hums softly to himself. It is not a song with words, but a tune shaped by breath and memory. The loom answers, its clack and slide becoming percussion to his melody. Together they weave sound as well as cloth. You close your eyes. The rhythm continues. Clack, pull, slide. Clack. The loom does not hurry. It does not tire. It moves at the pace of patience, the pace of dreams. You find your breath aligning with it. Inhale with the pull. Exhale with the slide. Rest with the clack. Slowly, your body sinks into its cadence. Your shoulders soften. Your mind loosens. The loom weaves calm through you as surely as it weaves silk across the beams. The weaver pauses. He looks at the growing cloth, then gently smooths it with his hand. His fingers trail across the shining threads, like a blessing, like a promise. You realize the loom is more than a tool. It is a vessel of memory. Each thread carries a moment, a thought, a fragment of someone's life. The silk will one day drape across shoulders, hang in a hall, line a chest. But tonight it is only here, quiet, growing, becoming. The weaver resumes. Clack, pull, slide. You sit down near the loom. The sound fills you, vibrates softly through the floor, echoes faintly in your chest. It is not a sound to listen to. It is a sound to breathe with. You let it carry you deeper. Each strike clears another thought. Each pull untangles another knot of worry. Each slide draws you closer to rest. The loom weaves not just silk, but silence. Not emptiness, but fullness, a fullness of peace. The weaver glances at you just once, with eyes kind and steady. Then he smiles faintly, as if he knows what the loom is giving you. He says nothing. He does not need to. The rhythm speaks enough. Time drifts. Minutes, perhaps hours, woven into the growing fabric. The pattern expands, stars blooming upon silk. You feel yourself sinking further, resting within the loom's song. When at last you rise, you carry the rhythm within you. It hums in your chest, it threads through your breath, it lingers in your steps. The loom continues, it sounds steady, endless, woven into the night. You step back into the darkened street, the workshop's glow fading behind you. Yet the rhythm does not fade. It has become part of you, woven into your dreaming. The silence of the weaver's workshop fades as you step once more into the open night. The air is cool, tinged with the faint sweetness of figs and roses from the hidden garden you left behind. But now, another sound joins the night. At first it is distant, like a sigh carried on the wind, the creak of wooden wheels, the soft jingle of harness bells, the muffled pad of hooves upon the dust. The caravan is arriving. You follow the sound toward the edge of the courtyard. The great wooden gates stand open, their iron hinges groaning low as camels step through one by one. Their tall, swaying forms move slowly, like ships upon a sea of night. Behind them, mules carry bundles wrapped in cloth. Lanterns sway from the travelers' staffs, casting golden circles that drift across stone walls. The courtyard, once hushed, begins to stir with quiet life. The merchants walk beside their animals, robes brushed with sand from the long road. They speak softly, their voices low, their words carried gently by the breeze. You cannot hear the meaning, only the tone warm, tired, grateful. The caravan master lifts a hand. The animals slow, their hooves settling, their breath heavy and deep. The courtyard fills with a hush again, but it is no longer an empty silence. It is full of presence, full of company. You watch as bundles are lowered from the camels' backs. Silk, spice, ceramics wrapped in straw. Each bundle is laid carefully upon the ground, as though the earth itself is another guest at the gathering. Nearby, a child laughs softly. One of the travelers carries her on his shoulders. She points at the fountain, its waters glowing silver beneath the moon. Her laughter is brief, gentle, then swallowed again by the night. The camels kneel, folding their long legs beneath them. Their sighs are deep, echoing through the courtyard like the release of a long, held breath. You feel your own body mirroring them, shoulders loosening, muscles softening, as though the night itself exhales with them. Servants bring water. Clay bowls are filled, placed carefully before the animals. The sound of drinking fills the air, slow gulps, the splash of muzzles against water, a simple grounding music. The merchants settle near the fountain. Some unroll carpets upon the stones, their patterns glowing faintly in lantern light. Others stretch their legs, their weary faces softening in rest. A kettle is placed upon the coals. Soon, the scent of tea drifts upward, sharp mint, earthy leaves, a sweetness that promises warmth. The courtyard has transformed. Where once it was empty and silent, it is now alive, but not loud, not rushed. It breathes with the quiet rhythm of arrival, the gentle weaving of many journeys meeting as one. You sit near the fountain, watching lantern light flicker upon the water. Its ripples catch and scatter the glow, turning the surface into a shifting tapestry of gold and silver. A traveler approaches, his robe dusted with sand, his eyes tired yet kind. He does not speak, only nods softly, as though acknowledging your place here. Then he settles beside his companions, his voice joining theirs in a murmur of stories. The words blend with the sounds around you, the camels shifting, the clink of cups, the bubbling of the kettle, the fountain's endless song. Together they form a music of arrival, a lullaby for the weary. You breathe it in. The caravan carries the dust of distant deserts, the salt of faraway seas, the perfume of markets beyond mountains. And yet here, in this courtyard, all of it slows, all of it rests. The gate creaks closed again, sealing the night around you. The caravan is home, for now, for tonight. The courtyard sighs, and with it so do you. Safe in the presence of many, cradled by silence that is not empty, you feel your body sinking into calm once more. The night deepens. The caravan sleeps, and so may you. The courtyard has grown quiet again. The caravan rests, the animals lie folded upon the stone, and the fountain sings its endless lullaby. You lean back upon a woven cushion, eyes lifting beyond the arches, beyond the tiled domes and lantern glow to the vastness above. The Persian sky is endless, a velvet sea, deep and immeasurable, studded with countless stars. They burn softly, not harsh or sharp, but like distant lanterns, gentle in their brilliance, steady in their light, one by one. Your eyes trace the constellations. There is Orion the hunter, his belt glowing like 3 jewels in a line. Nearby, Taurus, the bull, its horns carved from starlight, a reminder of strength and patience. Farther still, the Pleiades cluster together, a family of stars huddled close, their glow delicate, like sparks rising from an unseen fire. The ancients believed the stars were not merely distant suns, but woven symbols, threads of fate written in the sky. Astrologers would read them, their scrolls marked with careful signs, their voices soft as they spoke of destiny. And here, beneath this canopy, you can feel why. The stars are not silent, they hum. A low vibration, a resonance that your body understands even if your ears cannot hear. It is the hum of time itself, the turning of seasons, the rising and setting of days, the wheel of life spinning in its eternal circle. The night breeze brushes your face. Cool, gentle, it carries with it the scent of dust and rosewater, the memory of deserts stretching beyond the horizon. The wind, too, is a guide. Its currents once carried caravans, its direction once chosen by travelers who lifted their eyes to these same stars to find their way home. A merchant nearby points upward. His voice, though soft, carries a note of reverence. He traces with his finger the outline of Cassiopeia, the queen upon her celestial throne. Another laughs softly, not in mockery but in wonder, sharing a story of how his grandmother once told him that those stars were the comb of a goddess, left behind as she brushed her hair across the heavens. Their words drift like incense, curling upward, mixing with the silence of the night. You let the sound of their voices fade into background as you return to the stars themselves. Above, the Milky Way spills across the sky, a river of light, silver and infinite. It seems close enough to touch, as though if you reached far enough, your fingertips would brush its edge, gathering starlight as easily as gathering silk. And so you imagine it, the stars are threads, each one drawn from the loom of the heavens. The night sky is the weaver's tapestry, constellations embroidered into its fabric. Every life, every story, every dream, woven together in patterns too vast to fully see. You breathe slowly. Inhale, cool air fills your chest. Exhale, your body softens into the cushion, mirroring the stillness above. Time itself seems to stretch thin. There is no hurry here, no burden of past or future. Only this, the vast sky, the quiet earth, the rhythm of your breath joining both. A shooting star arcs suddenly, swift and brilliant, disappearing as quickly as it came. Someone gasps in the courtyard, then whispers a prayer, a wish entrusted to the night. You do not speak, but in your heart, you too feel a wish rise, gentle and unspoken, woven silently into the canopy above. The astrologers say that stars are not only guides but mirrors. That to gaze upon them is to gaze upon your own soul, tiny, brilliant, enduring. And as you look, you feel yourself reflected back. Small in size, yes, yet endless in depth. A spark of light in the vast weaving of time. The stars shimmer, the breeze sighs, and you rest softly under the starry canopy. The stars still shine above, but the air has changed. The warmth of the day, the heat that clung to the stones, the glow that lingered in the courtyard, is now dissolving. The night wind begins to move. Slow at first, like a whisper across silk, it curls between arches, slips over carved doors, and drifts into the resting spaces of the caravan. You feel it on your skin, a tender coolness replacing the sun's heavy embrace. It is neither harsh nor biting, but soft. A gentle hand that soothes the memory of heat from your body. Out in the desert beyond the walls, the dunes shift in silence. The wind carries grains of sand from one crest to another, reshaping the land as if sculpting a dream. No two dunes remain the same by dawn. The desert is always changing, yet always eternal, its breath carried by the winds of the night. Within the courtyard, you hear the subtle movements, a tapestry stirred, a lantern's flame flickering, a camel sighing as its fur ruffles. The air brings motion to stillness, but never breaks the peace. The breeze is scented. It carries with it faint traces of myrrh and cedar from a merchant's chest, jasmine from the garden wall, and the dusty sweetness of date palms standing somewhere unseen. Each breath you take is layered with the fragrances of Persia, ancient, delicate, soothing. The travelers settle deeper into rest. Some wrap their cloaks tighter. Others turn their faces into cushions, surrendering to the cool comfort. You, too, feel the wind weaving around you, a natural blanket of night. The astrologers say that the desert wind is not merely weather. It is a messenger. It carries stories across the sands, whispers of distant places. If you listen closely, you can hear them, echoes of cities long gone, prayers spoken in temples, the laughter of caravans crossing the dunes centuries ago. You close your eyes, and the sound of the wind becomes a lullaby. It moves like a breath against the stone, soft, continuous, a hush that invites stillness. It enters your chest as you inhale, then leaves with your exhale, teaching your body the rhythm of the desert itself. The heat has fully faded now. The night air is cool, refreshing, yet never cold. It balances perfectly, keeping you suspended in a state of quiet comfort. You imagine yourself beyond the courtyard, standing upon the open sands. The dunes roll like waves beneath the stars, each one touched by silver moonlight. The wind lifts your robe, carries it gently outward, as if inviting you to join its eternal dance. For a moment, you are weightless, not bound to the earth, not caught in time, simply drifting, a part of the wind, a thread in the night. The wind slows, softens, and you return to the stillness of the courtyard. Your cushion holds you, the fountain whispers, the lantern flickers. The air now wraps you tenderly, as if it has delivered its message and come to rest. You breathe in, cool air fills your lungs. You breathe out, your body sinks deeper, calm, unhurried. The desert winds have done their work. They have carried away the heat of the day, brought you peace of night, and prepared you gently for the dreams yet to come. The courtyard is hushed, the wind still sighing softly, when a new sound begins to bloom in the night. At first it is faint, like a thread of silk pulled across air. Then it gathers, a gentle plucking, notes rising and falling like drops of water striking the surface of a pool. It is the oud, the ancient lute of Persia. Its body is round, its strings many, its voice both tender and deep. In the quiet of night, its music travels as if carried by the desert winds themselves. The musician sits in shadow, his figure outlined only by a lantern glow. He does not play for an audience. He plays for the night, for the stars above, for the listening silence of the courtyard. The first notes are slow, measured, each vibration lingering long after the string is touched. They seem to fall into your chest, resonating softly, stirring feelings too delicate for words. The oud tells stories, stories without speech, woven only of sound. One phrase speaks of longing, the kind that stretches across distance, a traveler's yearning for home. Another phrase soothes like a mother's hand, a lullaby shaped from memory and tenderness. The music drifts upward, mingling with the night air. The stars seem to shimmer in response, their silent rhythm aligning with the melody below. It is as though heaven itself listens, and in listening begins to hum along. A caravan child stirs in their sleep, smiling faintly, as if the strings have entered their dream. A merchant sighs, his face softening, his weariness eased. Even the camels, kneeling at rest, turn their ears toward the sound, gentled by the invisible embrace of music. You feel it too. The oud's voice does not rush. It invites you to breathe slowly, to let each note dissolve like incense into the night. The rhythm is steady, not demanding a heartbeat of strings. Sometimes the player plucks lightly, a delicate flutter, like sparrows dancing in air. Sometimes he leans deeper into the strings, drawing forth a tone rich and resonant, like the opening of a hidden chamber in the soul. The oud speaks of Persia itself, its gardens, its deserts, its bustling markets, its hidden chambers of poetry. Within its notes lies the memory of roses, the flight of nightingales, the wisdom of sages, the laughter of children. And as you listen, your own heart becomes a string upon the oud. It vibrates not with sound, but with stillness, echoing the calm of night. The melody changes, softens further, until it feels less like music and more like breathing. Each pluck of the string matches the rise and fall of your chest. Each pause between notes mirrors the quiet space of your exhale. The oud has become a lullaby, not a lullaby of words but of feeling, a song that guides you gently toward the edge of sleep. The final phrase drifts like a feather, one last note long, tender, fading into silence. And then the courtyard returns to stillness. But the sound lingers within you. It hums softly in your chest, a memory that will not leave, a melody that will return in the quiet moments of dreams. The call of the oud has ended, but its echo is eternal. The music of the oud has faded, but its softness remains, like a memory carried in the air. The courtyard is once again still, bathed in moonlight that glides over stone, water, and fabric. The weaver's stall lies quiet now. No hands move across the loom, no shuttle clicks against thread. But the fabrics remain, rolled, folded, draped, silk, brocade, wool, each one waiting, silent yet alive. The moonlight descends like a patient brushstroke. It touches the silks first, illuminating them from above. Gold threads shimmer faintly, silver strands gleam. Deep blues turn almost liquid, and reds deepen into velvet shadow. The fabrics breathe in the night. Each ripple, each fold, becomes a landscape of its own. A scarf draped across a table looks like a flowing river. A hanging cloth, stirred by wind, resembles the curtain of a hidden chamber. Shadows curl along seams, painting the patterns anew. The courtyard itself seems transformed. The stones are no longer plain but a canvas. The lanterns cast faint halos, the moon pours its glow, and the silks absorb both light and shadow, becoming something more than cloth, a living tapestry. You gaze at the play of light. It is silent, but speaks in its own way. The shimmer tells of journeys of caravans carrying these fabrics across deserts and mountains. The shadows speak of hands weavers, spinners, dyers, all pouring pieces of their lives into these threads. The wind stirs again, lifting the edge of a shawl. It flutters gently, and the shadow behind it dances across the wall. It looks like the flicker of wings, a night bird in flight. You follow the shape with your eyes, calm, entranced, letting imagination move as slowly as the fabric itself. In the silence, the silks almost seem to whisper. If you lean closer, you might hear it, a story told not with words, but with textures and patterns. The weave holds secrets, stars and flowers, geometries and symbols. Each line of thread is deliberate, a sentence in a language of cloth. Your fingers brush the nearest fabric. It is cool, smooth, almost liquid in its softness. The shadow beneath your hand moves as well, stretching and reshaping like an echo of your touch. For a moment, you feel connected to the weaver, to the fabric, to the night itself. The moon moves slowly above. Its light shifts, and with it the patterns of shadow. What was hidden becomes revealed. What was bright dissolves into dark. It is a gentle rhythm, like breathing, like the turning of a loom. You close your eyes briefly. The images remain, silken shadows rippling in memory. When you open your eyes, you see them again, soft and real, woven into the stillness of the courtyard. The silks no longer seem like objects. They seem like companions, quiet, watching, holding the weight of history in their folds. Their presence is not loud but tender, reminding you that beauty does not need to speak to be heard. The courtyard grows even quieter. Only the fountain continues to murmur. The moon hangs higher, silver and serene. The fabrics rest, the shadows lengthen, and you too feel yourself sinking into the slow rhythm of the night. Silken shadows have done their work. They have softened the world, painted it in moonlight, and led your thoughts into stillness. Every thread is now a path into dream. The courtyard rests in moonlight, and the silks lie still. Quiet guardians of the night, but within the weaver's chamber, a candle still burns. Its flame is soft, a single tongue of light that bends and flickers with each sigh of air. The weaver kneels beside his loom. He has laid down the shuttle, rested the threads, and folded his hands. No longer does he weave with silk. Now he weaves with words. His prayer begins in whispers, so faint that even the night must lean close to listen. It is not a prayer of grandeur, not of kings or palaces. It is a simple prayer, woven from the threads of daily life. He prays for those who travel tonight, for the caravan on the desert road, their camels heavy with burdens, their eyes heavy with sleep. He prays they may find shade, that the winds may be kind, that stars may guide their steps. He prays for the tired merchant, resting in the corner of the courtyard, that his heart may be lightened, his dreams filled not with accounts or worries, but with gardens and laughter. He prays for children, those curled in sleep by the fire, and those far away, dreaming in villages, their small breaths carrying hope into the wide world. The weaver's voice trembles slightly, but it does not falter. Each word is deliberate, like a knot tied into a thread. Each silence is equally deliberate, a pause for breath, a space for listening. The candle burns lower, its wax glistens, forming rivers that harden into stillness. The flame casts shadows across the loom, turning the empty frame of wood into a cross of light and dark. The weaver prays for his loom as well, for the threads, for the patterns they form, for the unseen hands who will one day touch the fabric he creates. He asks that beauty may endure, that his craft may carry peace from hand to hand, home to home. Then his voice softens further. He prays for dreamers, for those who close their eyes tonight, seeking rest from toil and sorrow. He prays their sleep may be safe, their dreams untroubled, their spirits restored. The words slow like a shuttle at the end of cloth. His hands rest upon his knees. For a moment, silence holds the room. But in that silence, something stirs. It is not sound, but presence, as if the prayer itself has been heard by the night. The air feels lighter, the shadows gentler, the candle brighter. Even as it dwindles, the weaver bows his head. The prayer is finished, but it does not end. It lingers woven into the stillness, like invisible silk stretched across the air. You feel it too, a quiet blessing settling over you like a shawl. It does not speak in words. It does not command or demand. It simply rests soft and certain, like the fabric of the night itself. The weaver closes his eyes, the candle flickers once more, and then it goes out. Darkness fills the chamber, but it is a kind darkness, a darkness shaped by prayer. The loom is silent, the threads unmoving. Yet in the stillness, it feels as though something has been completed. Not a fabric, but a pattern of peace, woven into the heart of the night. The weaver lies down, his breath steady, his hands folded over his chest. Sleep comes to him gently, as if carried on the wings of his own words. And you too feel it. The prayer has reached you, wrapping you in its soft embrace. Your own thoughts quiet, your own breathing slows, and in that silence, you rest beneath the weaver's blessing. The prayer is yours now. It will follow you into your dreams. The desert breathes in silence. Sand stretches endlessly, soft dunes under the pale silver moon. The caravan rests, its camels kneeling, their shadows long and gentle. And there, in the distance, the faint shimmer of water. Not a mirage, but an oasis. A place where palms rise like sentinels, their fronds swaying lightly, whispering secrets to the night. The weaver dreams of it, or perhaps you do. Either way, the path unfolds. Stone beneath sandals, the air cooling as you walk. The desert wind fades, replaced by the quiet rustle of leaves. The oasis welcomes you with its still waters. The moonlight rests upon the surface, a silver mirror, broken only by the ripple of fish or the soft landing of an insect's wings. The water glows faintly, as though it holds the stars within itself. You kneel at its edge. The sand here is darker, cooler beneath your fingers. You dip your hand into the water, and it slips across your skin, silken, refreshing, alive. The ripples spread outward, soft circles carrying your presence into the heart of the pool. Around you, the palms stand tall. Some lean together, their fronds touching like hands in prayer. Others stretch wide, their shadows mingling with the dunes. You can hear their voices in the night breeze, not words, but a song. A lullaby of leaves repeated endlessly, soothing, calming. The weaver once told a story that oases were gifts of mercy, given by the earth to those who wandered too long. A place of rest, a place of safety, a reminder that even in vast deserts, there are wells of life. You sit beneath one of the palms. The bark is rough, yet its strength is reassuring. You lean back, eyes lifted to the canopy of stars framed by swaying leaves. The night feels endless but no longer empty. Here there is company, water, trees, wind, sky, all in harmony. The sound of the fountain at the Caravanserai seems far away now. Instead, you hear the slow drip of water from a stone into the pool, a rhythm older than memory. It echoes softly, like a heartbeat. A heron stands at the far edge of the water. Its long neck curves, its beak touches the surface, and then it lifts away, wings spreading in silence. The shadow of its flight glides across the pool, mingling with the moon. You close your eyes for a moment. The oasis remains within you. Its coolness, its calm, its quiet song of life. Even without sight, you feel its presence, as though the palms have wrapped their arms around your weary spirit. In dreams, the journey continues. The sand no longer feels harsh. It is soft beneath your feet, welcoming your steps. The night is no longer vast and empty. It is filled with fragrance, the sweetness of palms, the freshness of water, the faint memory of jasmine. The weaver's prayer still lingers. You carry it into this oasis, where it settles like a blessing over the pool. The water reflects not only the moon, but also the thread of peace woven into your heart. The palms sway once more. The heron disappears into the horizon. The ripples fade. The pool stills and silence deepens. A silence not of absence, but of presence. A silence that watches over you, steady and kind. You lie back in the sand, hands folded, eyes lifted to the stars above the oasis. The world feels gentle. Your breath slows, your body softens, and sleep begins to flow through you like water, cool and calm, drawing you deeper into the dream. The journey has brought you here, to a place of rest, to a pool beneath the stars, to an oasis eternal and serene. Beyond the oasis, where palms give way to stone, a narrow path winds inward, half seen in the moonlight. You follow it slowly, guided by the fragrance of roses, a sweetness that deepens with every quiet step. The air grows cooler. Walls rise, not harsh like the desert cliffs, but softened by vines, woven thick with leaves. A carved wooden gate waits, its frame worn by countless years, its surface etched with delicate patterns. Geometry, stars, petals. The gate is slightly open. You push it gently. It does not creak. Instead, it sighs as though relieved to welcome a traveler again. And then you enter the hidden garden. Roses bloom everywhere, white as moonlight, red as embers, pink as dawn. Their petals glisten with dew, small stars of water that catch and hold the night's glow. Some climb trellises, others spill across the earth, and a few rise tall as though proud guardians of this secret place. The air is heavy with perfume, but it is not overwhelming. It soothes like incense in a quiet chamber, like silk brushing against skin. A fountain rests at the center. Its water does not roar, it whispers. The stream falls from a carved bowl down into a marble pool, and from there into smaller channels that spread through the garden, feeding flowers, refreshing roots. The sound is gentle, a music made of water. And above that music, another begins. A nightingale sings, its voice thin but piercing, carrying across the garden walls. Each note rises, then falls like a petal. It sings not for you, not for anyone, but simply because it must. Its song is truth. You sit beside the fountain. The stone is cool, the rippling water endless. The roses bend in the breeze as if listening, swaying to the nightingale's melody. In this garden, the words of poets stir. The weaver once whispered the verses of Rumi, and now they seem to echo here. The garden of the world has no limits, except in your mind. Its presence is more beautiful than the stars, with more clarity than the polished mirror of your heart. The roses lean closer, as if to affirm the truth. Their fragrance deepens. The water glimmers. The nightingale pauses, then sings again. The garden is not hidden from you, it is hidden for you. A sanctuary waiting in silence. A place where the soul can breathe without fear, where time falls away like petals into water. You walk among the flowers. Some brush your hand, their petals softer than silk. Others bow slightly, their blossoms heavy with bloom. Everywhere the air hums with life. Even the shadows feel kind. The garden is a dream, but also more than a dream. It feels eternal, woven into the fabric of night itself. Perhaps it was planted by kings, or by lovers, or by no one at all. Perhaps it simply grew, called into being by the longing of the earth. The nightingale shifts its perch. Its song deepens, now joined by another, then another. Soon the air is alive with a chorus of unseen voices. The roses sway as if dancing. The water sparkles brighter. The garden itself sings, and in that song your heart rests. You feel its rhythm slowing, matching the fountain's drip, matching the bird's call, matching the quiet beat of the earth beneath the roots of the roses. You sit once more by the fountain. You close your eyes. The fragrance lingers. The music continues. The verses of the poets become your own breath. The hidden garden surrounds you, and you are safe within its walls. Sleep drifts nearer, not heavy, not sudden, but as gentle as a rose falling from its stem. It lays itself upon you, soft and inevitable. And as you rest, you realize this garden is not just a place. It is a state of being. It blooms wherever peace is allowed to bloom. It sings wherever hearts are still enough to listen. It is hidden, but never far. It waits always behind a gate of silence, inside the walls of your spirit. The roses remain. The nightingale sings. The fountain flows. And you, wrapped in fragrance and music, slip deeper into the garden of dreams. The hidden garden fades behind you, its roses and nightingales left like a blessing upon your heart. The path winds forward, through shadows and silver moonlight, until it opens into something vast. A vision, a dream given shape. Before you rises the palace of sleep. Not built of stone but of silence and starlight. Its walls shimmer like silk, woven from threads of night, pale silver against the dark sky. Towers rise like spindles, spinning the stars themselves into patterns only dreams can hold. The great gate opens soundlessly. You step within. The air is hushed, but not empty. It carries the faint hum of lullabies long forgotten. It is the sound of peace woven into space. The hall stretches wide. Tapestries hang from its arches, but they are not woven of cloth. They are made of memory and vision, fields of golden wheat, oceans of glass. Lanterns drifting across midnight skies. Each tapestry glows faintly, shifting when you look away, as if alive, as if responding to the rhythm of your breath. You walk slowly. Your footsteps make no echo, as though the floor itself is soft as velvet. Candles float in the air, but their flames do not flicker. They glow steadily, casting light that does not burn, only soothes. In one chamber, pillars rise like trees, their branches carved to meet at the ceiling, forming a canopy. From that canopy hang silken curtains, transparent as mist, drifting gently as if stirred by the breath of sleep itself. At the center lies a throne. But it is not a throne of power. It is a seat of rest. Draped in fabrics of silver, cushioned by cloud-like folds, it waits for no ruler, only for dreamers. Here, every soul is king. Here, every traveler is queen. For in the palace of sleep, rest is the only crown. You sit upon the seat. The fabric envelopes you, cool, soft, endless. It holds you as though it has been waiting since the beginning of time. Above, the ceiling opens like the lid of a jewelry box. Stars gleam brighter, arranged in constellations you do not recognize, yet they feel familiar, as if drawn from your own mind. They shift slowly, like patterns in water, like threads being woven into an eternal tapestry. The weaver's story lives here too. You can almost see his hands moving across the loom, turning silk into dream, thread into time. Every life, every breath, woven into this palace. No detail lost, no thread forgotten. And here you are, another thread in the fabric of sleep. The silence deepens. It presses against you softly like a blanket drawn to the chin of a child. It whispers without words, you are safe. You are home. You may rest. Your eyes close not because they must, but because they wish to. Behind your eyelids, the palace continues to glow. You still feel its tapestries, its drifting silks, its steady light. Dreams arrive like honored guests. They do not rush. They do not demand. They bow gently as they enter the hall, carrying visions of rivers, mountains, gardens, skies. They lay these visions at your feet as gifts, asking nothing in return. You lean back. The throne embraces you. Your body is weightless now, dissolving into the folds of fabric, becoming part of the dream itself. The palace is eternal. It does not crumble, does not fade. It exists as long as sleep exists. A kingdom for every weary traveler. No crown is needed, no key required. Only the willingness to close the eyes, to surrender to the soft embrace of the night. And so you rest. Not in the desert. Not in the caravanserai. Not in the hidden garden. But here in the palace of sleep, where silence is architecture, where dreams are tapestries, and where every traveler is finally at peace. In the stillness of the palace, you begin to hear something faint. Not the fountain, not the nightingale, not even the hush of dreams, but the sound of a loom, soft, steady, endless, thread slipping over thread, the rhythm of creation ancient as the stars. You rise from the throne, following the sound, through a hall of silken curtains, past tapestries that breathe and shift. You come to a small chamber, humble and unadorned, and there sits the weaver. His hands move gracefully, not hurried, not tired, but steady, as if he has been weaving for 1,000 years and will weave for 1,000 more. The loom before him glows faintly. Its frame is carved of wood, but the threads shimmer like strands of light. Some glint silver, others gleam gold, still others flicker in colors unnamed, shades you have only ever seen in dreams. Each thread passes under and over, binding into patterns. You lean closer. What you see there takes your breath away. It is not a tapestry of cloth. It is a tapestry of life. Every strand a story, every color a memory, every knot a choice made, every shimmer a dream followed. The loom does not weave silk. It weaves existence. You notice your own thread. It runs through the fabric, twisting gently, woven beside countless others. It shines faintly, its color shifting with each breath you take. It is not alone. It is never alone. Threads touch, cross, intertwine. Sometimes for moments, sometimes for lifetimes. The weaver does not look at you, but you feel his awareness. He knows you are watching. He allows it, as if this moment, too, was woven into the plan. The threads move endlessly. Some end suddenly, vanishing into the pattern. Others stretch long, curving, bending, yet always connecting. Not one is wasted. Not one is without place. You realize then that the eternal thread is not a single strand. It is all strands, woven together, a fabric without beginning or end. Life and dream, joy and sorrow, night and dawn, all are fibers in this vast cloth. The weaver hums softly, A tune older than language, a lullaby not meant for ears, but for the heart. The threads respond, glowing brighter, shifting in harmony. You understand. This is why the palace exists. This is why the garden blooms, why the oasis shines, why the caravanserai shelters. Every place, every soul, every dream, woven together by the eternal thread, your body grows heavy with calm. The loom's rhythm matches your breath. The hum of weaving echoes in your chest. It is not outside you. It is you. The thread of your being is being woven even now. Every heartbeat another knot. Every thought another color. Every dream another shimmer. And as you watch, you feel no fear, no longing for more, no sorrow for less. The pattern is beautiful, not because it is flawless, but because it exists, because it holds everything. The weaver lifts one thread, golden and bright, and passes it through the loom. It touches your strand, rests against it for a moment, then continues on. You recognize it. A friend's laughter, a memory of kindness. It lives forever here. You want to thank the weaver, but words seem too small. Instead, you simply breathe, and he nods, as though he has heard what cannot be spoken. The loom continues, thread by thread, life by life, moment by moment. It will never end, and in that knowledge you feel peace. Your eyelids grow heavy again. The rhythm of weaving becomes a lullaby. The glow of the tapestry becomes the glow of your dream. The eternal thread holds you. It has always held you. It will always hold you. Through night, through dawn, through every woven hour. And as you drift deeper, you realize you are not just watching the loom. You are part of it. You are being woven even now. A vital thread in the endless tapestry of existence. Sleep takes you, but gently, as if it too were just another thread, weaving you back into the heart of eternity. The loom fades slowly, its rhythm dissolving into silence. You feel the fabric of dreams gather around you like a cloak, warm and infinite. Then, a shift. Subtle, delicate, yet unmistakable. The night begins to lean toward morning. The palace of sleep, with its tapestries and silken halls, fades into the horizon of the mind. Its gates close not with finality, but with promise you may return whenever you wish. The desert returns. You feel the cool sand beneath you, the still air above. The stars are fewer now, their brightness softening. The long dark canopy grows pale at its edges, as though brushed with watercolor light. The constellations linger. Orion, the scorpion, the archer with his drawn bow. But they too begin to fade, giving their stage to the day. The heavens shift like a curtain, pulled slowly back to reveal a new act. The desert wind changes. Its chill is gone, replaced by the faintest warmth. It carries the scent of dust and rose, and somewhere far away, a caravan bell rings. Its echo is soft, almost like a dream you are just now leaving behind. The horizon glows. At first only a faint silver line, like a thread drawn across the earth. Then, pinks and ambers spill upward, slow and gentle. The dunes catch the light, each ridge painted in gold, each shadow softened like ink in water. You walk slowly, though you do not know if your feet touch the sand, or if you are only drifting. Every step is lighter, every breath deeper. Palms rise in the distance, their fronds swaying gently in the newborn breeze. The oasis gleams like polished glass, reflecting the first blush of day. Birds stir within it, their songs quiet, as though still half asleep. The world feels reborn, and so do you. The weaver's prayer still lingers in your chest. The eternal thread hums faintly within your breath. The palace of sleep rests behind your eyelids. All of it remains, woven into you. And yet morning arrives. It does not erase the night. It completes it. Night and day, dream and waking, woven together just as the threads of the loom. You pause at the crest of a dune. The sun's edge appears, a disk of molten gold rising above Persia. Its light pours out slowly, not rushing, but flowing like silk unrolled from a spool of fire. The desert shimmers. Every grain of sand glows like a jewel. Every shadow stretches long and thin, welcoming the light with quiet reverence. You close your eyes. The warmth touches your face. It does not pull you from sleep, but deepens it. For dawn, too, is part of the lullaby. Its light is no alarm. It is a gentle hand resting upon your shoulder, whispering rest. Dream deeper. Day is only another kind of night, and so you let go. The desert blurs. The dunes dissolve. The rising sun becomes a great lantern in the sky, swaying softly, casting warmth across eternity. You are not awake, nor asleep. You are both. You are a thread in the loom, a note in the music, a spark in the dawn. The world breathes. You breathe with it slow, steady, infinite. And in this moment you realize the journey is not ending. It is beginning again. Every dawn leads to night. Every dream leads to waking. Every thread leads to another. The silk of Persia, the weaver's loom, the palace of sleep, the eternal thread. All flow endlessly, woven through you. The sun rises higher, but your body grows heavier, sinking into rest. The desert becomes softer, the oasis more distant, until all fades into warmth, all fades into stillness, all fades into sleep. The journey has carried you across night and dream, through starlight and silence, through gardens and palaces, through threads and prayers. Now it carries you into the deepest rest, the gift of sleep itself. And so, as dawn crowns the desert, you drift not into waking, but into peace. Your last thought dissolves into the rising light. I am woven. I am held. I am home.